Hey everybody, my name is Salas and welcome to our newest video today. We'll be going over an LOL replay and we'll be playing as Lucian. I'll be laning with a Thresh and we'll be facing off against a Jinx and a Lulu. And to give you an idea about this MMR and everything like that, it's around the Diamond 3, Diamond 4 MMR, and currently I'm placed in Plat 2 and I'm doing with my Anivia buddy as well. So let's get this started. We'll be going over different builds, strategies, how to play as Lucian, how to train, lane control, things like that. So let's see. Let's see what we got going on right now. We have, I'm up a little bit on CS, 14 to 17. So typically it's pretty even. One thing with Lulu is that she has a pretty good poke. She's spamming her laugh, I guess, because she's got a pretty deadly laugh, if I must say. But one thing with Lulu is that she does have a lot of poke, but one thing with her as well is that once she has her poke down, she doesn't really keep up anything in terms of consistent DPS. So once she uses her Glitter Lance, which is going to be her Q, you can kind of look for opportunities of damage. But you do have to also be careful of the polymorph that she does to you as well, which is, it can pretty much ruin your all-ins and things like that. Let's say if I'm all-inning, I jump in and try to get onto Jinx, she can just polymorph me and then she doesn't have too much to worry about as well. In this case, he does get a good, Thresh does get a good hook there, so we can get some damage off and try to even it out. Let's see, the lane right now, I guess we could say that they're a little bit stronger as of right now. Lucian has pretty good trade potential. The basic ways to trade with Lucian, you want to use an ability first and then use your auto attacks. It looks like this trade's kind of a little bad right now. And let's see, we'll just keep trying to back up. Okay, so I burned my flash there, and I think I actually remember this is you'll see the Elise trying to make a play. So Elise actually tries to make a play here onto Thresh, and then she tries to dive. But when you're this low level, you never want to dive, and she even used her flash. It's down right now. When you're this low level, you never want to dive, because for one, you don't have any damage to really get any kills. And then, in this case, the bush was also blind, so I went and had used my barrier in case they were actually going to retaliate right there, so I would have been able to survive. One thing with LeBlanc is that once she chains you, you got to try to run away, so you don't get rooted and take extra damage as well. But yeah, for like what Elise did up there earlier, when you're this low level and you don't have any items to really kill people, and she wasted flash for apparently no reason. And yes, this is this is Diamond, so you do have people making stupid mistakes even in Diamond. But like I said, like when you're this low level, you never want to dive under the turret, because you don't have enough HP for one, you don't have enough armor, and you have no damage. So when Elise made that dive, it was pretty much a feed right there. And plus she gave up a red. And the red buff is going to be pretty nice because I can get some extra damage off and go for a little bit more harass as well. So we're down a little bit in CS. I kind of let that wave die earlier over here because LeBlanc was there, and also Jinx got to the lane a little more quickly. But once I clear up this wave, this CS should even up just a little bit more. And just in case if you guys don't know, the general rule of thumb is you let the tower hit the caster minion once, and then you hit it, and then if there's a melee minion, you let the tower hit the melee minion twice, and then you last hit it. When you're really low level, you only have a Doran's Blade, you're actually going to have to hit these caster minions once, let the tower hit it, and then auto attack it again. But once you have an item, like another Vamp Scepter, or for my case a BS Sword, you just go for the general CSing under tower. Okay, so I have a BF Sword and they only have a Vamp Scepter, so we can pretty much play a little aggressively. I think I do remember when we were playing this, I have a Storm at my house right now, so I told him I can't play too aggressively yet because I'm a little bit laggy, and then I want him not to play too aggressive until I get my lag under control. In this situation, I just went ahead and used my ult. I just want to kind of look fancy there. What I should have done in this situation is actually just finish him off right there, and then use my ult to chase Lulu down afterwards, and I probably would have gotten some more damage. The minions were there, but the ult would have kind of ripped through those minions and then gotten some little more damage onto the Lulu. But I kind of wanted to just show them like how badly we can destroy them, so I just kind of did it for fun. But in most ranked games, you kind of want to play to win, and so you might not want to pull that exact strategy. Like I said, I was kind of lagging, and I think I missed this CS because, oh no, he just killed it. But around this time, I kind of lagged around a little bit, so I do miss a couple CS here and there, and it's not perfect, but it happens. So he gets a nice hook onto Lulu. You use my ability, get your passive off, and this was where I actually made a big mistake. They actually almost get a kill on me because of the fact of how retarded I played on that. That was a miscalculation. I thought that the Lulu would die if I got my double shot off, so I dashed in, and then I used my two autos and tried to get a kill there, but that ended up not working too well. And then Thresh kind of overstayed his welcome and then ended up dying. So I'm gonna go ahead and base. Let's see how much gold we have. If you have 1100, almost 1200 gold, I'm gonna go ahead and probably get a Vamp Scepter. And a good way to build for Lucian is to start off with your Vamp Scepter if you don't have that much gold to get a BS sword, and then work on your Bloodthirster. And just, you know, you might want to pick up some boots to kind of help with your mobility a little bit to help chase or run away, things like that. But first items on Lucians that are always great are going to be your Bloodthirster, and then you can build into either a Static Shiv, Phantom Dancer, or Trinity Force. Depending on what kind of comp and what your team needs, it's my Anivia buddy made a really good play with that double. But let's say if I want to figure out what I want to build, is he actually gonna get this? Oh, okay. Actually, I think he's gonna get back in time. Yeah, he doesn't have the damage to kill, and I think he gets this. Wow. Okay, that's wonderful. So mid is pretty much solidified that he's just gonna win his mid lane, so that's no issue. But let's say if I'm trying to decide if I want to build a Static Shiv, a Trinity Force, a Phantom Dancer, I would build a Static Shiv only if you really need a wave clear. Anivia already has great wave clear, so you don't have to really worry about building Static Shiv. And they have some pretty bursty champions. I mean, Malphite, he can be bursty since he's building AP. And LeBlanc is very bursty as well, so I went for the Trinity Force build, and plus it gives you extra mana, extra everything, extra health. So I'm gonna go ahead and build a Trinity Force for this game. We kind of stayed into this fight because we see the Ka is coming, and then that's why we can get a kill onto this. And it's with the Ka. I mean, he has pretty good chase potential with his snares, with his leap and his W. So these are all just easy kills. That was a very good counter gank right there that he pulled off. Let's see, we're gonna probably go for the dragon. Yeah, so we're gonna go for the dragon here. Let me go back to myself. And let's see how much gold we got. So I'm 5-0. I'm up a little bit on CS as well, which is great. And I'm probably gonna, yeah. So with that gold, anytime you can get your Bloodthirster, I recommend getting that. I recommend getting your Bloodthirster first before your boots because you're kind of reliant on your burst. So you use your Q, double proc, or double auto shot. Use your W, double auto shot, things like that. So these, getting this will make you pack a bigger punch, and you get the Berserker Greaves afterwards. I wouldn't, even if I had the gold, depending how far behind I am, it would depend. If I'm really far behind, I might get the Berserker Greaves early if I can't afford anything like the Bloodthirster. But if I'm doing kind of okay, or if I'm just a little bit behind, I'll probably just save up for the Bloodthirster because it's a much better power spike. So very nice hook there. This should be, oh, okay. So not the best play for me, I guess. And in this case, at least did come to counter the gank. We did see that coming at the corner of our eyes, so we just decided to pull out. But that does mean that Jinx is probably out of the lane for a little bit, and we get a pretty free lane, just free CS. Don't have to worry about pushing it too much. Just make sure we get all the CS, all the gold that we can. And one thing to always practice, I know people will say to practice your CSing in bot games and things like that. It's like you can, but it doesn't really give you a real life scenario about how it is. Oh, this is, yeah. So since I have the storm, I'm like lagging all over the place. So this is probably where I'm just gonna kind of, yeah, this is where I couldn't even control my character, my champion at the time. I'm just lagging out like crazy. I think it was like for a solid minute. So I'll kind of just talk everything for now. But I wouldn't really practice CSing with bots or anything, and the reason for that is because it doesn't give you a real life situation where there's no trading or anything like that. Like if you're in a custom game, you can pretty much only play against these really terrible bots, and they don't really trade well. They don't take advantages. Like if you have a cannon minion up, they know that they can't punish you and try to make sure that you don't get a cannon. So I wouldn't really do that. If anything, just keep practicing in regular games. If anything, go to a normal, and then everyone has little different attack animations. Lucian actually has very nice auto attack animation, and his travel time on his auto shots are actually pretty quick, and that's why I like him a lot. His CSing with Lucian is actually pretty easy in my opinion. He's kind of like a Graves. Graves is pretty easy too. I think maybe it's the champions that have guns, because maybe the projectile is faster. I haven't actually looked into that. Maybe they are though, so I'm gonna have to look into that and see how that is. I think this is around where I start to kind of stop lagging out from the storm, so maybe we can get through this. But yeah, my recommendation, don't really CS with bots, just keep practicing in your games, and try to aim for, you know, around 70-80 for the first 10-minute mark, and then kind of bump that up to 150, 160 by the 20-minute mark. Typically you want to aim for about 80 or so CS per 10 minutes. So let's say if it's a 30-minute game, you want to aim for, you know, maybe like 240, 250 CS. As the game goes on, you kind of get a little bit more, because you get to kill minions a lot more quickly, and you probably won't be missing that much as well. So, but typically you're going to be wanting to aim for around 70 or 80. So all the lanes are doing pretty well, and that is probably all the lanes are doing pretty well, probably because they at least kind of fed in the beginning, and then he wasn't able to put out as much pressure as he actually should have. But I mean, that's these little things. That's what adds up to the end result of these games. So sadly for them, we do win this one later on. But let's see what else we do to kind of make it happen. So in this situation, he misses his hook. But since we are pretty far ahead, we can stay pretty aggressive. Let's say if they were actually equal with us, that should have been a more dead Thresh. It looks like we have teammates here as well, kind of helping out. Yeah, so we have more teammates here to help us out. We might be diving this. I kind of forgot exactly. But one thing that's really great about Lucian is that he can siege and anti-siege pretty well, because if you line up his Q in a direct line, it can wave clear really well if they're trying to siege against you. And then also his ult is really strong against minions as well. So let's see, the culling, yeah, so it does 400 more percent damage against minions, so it's really great wave clear if you need to anti-siege a little bit. Let's see at this fight. So let's see, this fight, it's a 4v5, so this is clearly going to go in our favor. I mean, without the LeBlanc there, sadly for them, there's just no shot. And then this guy tries to make a noble sacrifice and just try to bring everyone away. But I believe this at least does go down, or someone goes down, I think. I guess we'll see. And then also what's great about Lucian is that you can use your W, Q, any of your abilities, and it'll get your double shots off, and you can get more damage off. If he didn't have flash, I definitely would have gotten the kill there, but he flashed, so it's, I guess, not really worth, since I'm ahead. So it's better that I save my flash rather than he does. So it happens though. Let's see. I believe red's up, and we're gonna go ahead and snag this out of the way. Yeah. So we steal the red. In this point of the game, they don't really know what's going on, so I'm just gonna have them clear it up. Since they're gonna be coming, I'm sure they're gonna be clearing it up anyways, so they can reset it themselves. Freezy dragon. One tip I can always give for you guys is that the dragons get more and more worth the game progresses, and I feel like it's actually more important to get your dragons later on in the game. So I always keep timers on the dragon and let my team know 1 minute beforehand, before the dragon spawns. And I always tell everyone, it's like pretty much on point. I always say, hey, dragon spawns 1 minute, make sure you guys are healthy, and so make sure you start to rotate over. To me, dragons are, I mean, besides from towers, the most important objective because it gets you through the game. Obviously, Baron later on is the best because it gives you all those combat stats, regen, and everything like that. But I mean, multiple dragons lead up to the end result of your game as well. Okay, so let's speed this up a little bit. Use my ult to clear it up. Jinx was here, and we're kind of trying to chase a little bit, but we're not going to be able to get it. So we're going to go and push this wave up. We see that our team is fighting up here. Let's see what they're doing. Not too worried about this, but since there is quite a few champions from the enemy team over there, we're going to go ahead and just kind of... you have two decisions. You can rotate over to the mid, or you can go ahead and keep pushing. In this case, I decided to just keep on pushing. Renekton's pushing his top lane as well, so we're kind of doing a 1-2-2. And oh, okay, I remember this one exactly. So releases are here, and we try to with this happening here, we're actually trying to condense onto them, but I should have probably rotated up there and kept going up there, and we could have taken advantage of this a little more better. And this is actually where I died, so that's why I should have rotated with them. Let's go and replay exactly what happened here with me. So we'll slow it down. He ults, and I already used my dash. I didn't have my flash or anything, so I can't get out of that ult. And that's just definitely going to get you killed. Two ults, while we weren't able to use really any. Thresh got to use his, but it was only just to like save his life and so he can get out. So, rule of thumb, try to save your dash or your flash, and make sure you have one of those so you can get out of the modified ults. And one thing, especially as an ADC, I think the most important thing as an ADC is really knowing your summoners. Knowing when you have your flash, knowing when you have your barrier, so you know how strong you are exactly. And that really helps determine exactly what your capabilities will be. Alright, so I'm going to speed this up 8 times. Bring it down. Okay, so I'm going to keep pushing this bottom wave here. They're pushing up here as well, so I'm just going to shove that. So if they do happen to push into this middle lane, we have this lane going for us, and then it's going to be pushing on their inhib tower, and that's something for them to worry about as well. Okay, so let's see what happens here exactly. I get ulted, and I actually didn't expect that one right there, and I think this is where we all die actually. So I should have been able to dash away from that, but I seriously did not expect that. So it's something that you should always be watching out for. So we're kind of throwing the game here a little bit. And in the solo queue, it's whoever throws first is gonna be the loser of the game, and we're pretty much throwing like crazy. This Renekton, when you 3v1, pretty much no matter how fed you are, you can almost never do it, and it's always silly to just give away something like that. Your tower's already gone. In this situation, a lot of times it's better to just give up the tower than to give up another kill as well, because if you're giving that individually, when someone gets a kill, they just get a lot stronger. So I mean, you just don't want to get free kills like that. All right, so back to Lucian, because we're doing ADC. Clean this up. I'm playing this one a little bit more cautiously. I think this is when I ask for help, but I believe he's just gonna walk away. Not too much to worry about. So just make sure to ward it. I'm gonna shove it one more lane so this bottom lane is actually naturally pushing, and then I'm gonna group up with my team. Always make sure whenever you're playing to have your lanes pushing. That way when you do meet up and try to fight as a team, you have these other lanes that are pushing, and then someone has to go take care of it. And then if someone does from their side, you can look at and capitalize on these 4v5 situations and go ahead and fight them. Pretty much, if any team's equal, generally you're always going to win a 4v5, so it's something that you can be pretty confident in. So I'm going to shove this another wave, and it looks like they're possibly looking to fight here. He flashed that ult. He definitely would have died if he got caught there. So we get pretty poked out. We get kind of chased out. They got a little bit out of position. So no worries, I think they're gonna go heal up and everything like that, and then we'll have to take care of the siege here. Alright, so I'm gonna speed this up a little bit. And let's see what's the next move here as well. Oh, let me rewind that. Okay. So we got Lulu, Elise, and we have a LeBlanc here in mid. It looks like Thresh here makes a good play. Oh, Renekton is what mainly set that up. So we have a very low LeBlanc, and he already uses W and his flash, it looks like, and he's not able to get away. I pick up that kill, and now it's time to siege. Having Lucian, we have a pretty great siege team. Anivia has great wave clear. I have decent wave clear as long as I line up my Q correctly. And we're gonna go ahead and try to get some. If we were able to capitalize on that, ooh, that would have been big. So we get a flash. Okay, let's replay this a little bit. This is going pretty quickly. Okay, let's do just directed. So we have a great catch by Thresh, and it looks like Anivia is gonna wall, and then it's gonna force Jinx to barrier and flash. Get out of there. I avoid the Malphite. It looks like he was coming in, so I just made sure to use my dash that time to get away from it. And then, like we said, we have a pretty great sieging team, and so we're gonna get this tower down. Jinx is still healing. She should be back here soon. And this is where it goes wrong. Whenever if you guys are not that healthy, like in our situation, we weren't very healthy at all. Back out after the tower. You already got the tower. Go heal up. Get your free inhibitor later. So we fed here. This kid, she gets a triple. Yeah, she gets a triple, almost a quadra. I think Thresh does get away because he flashes. And that's how you throw an amazing lead that you guys already have. In this case, they do get the Baron, it looks like. Yeah, so they're gonna go ahead and get the Baron. And we pretty much already know they got the Baron. We just made a bad play, so you just gotta pick yourself up the best you can. Keep your chin up though. Even if they have Baron, it's not the end of the world. Baron is great. It does add a lot of strength to the enemy team, but it's not over. If you get a catch, make it a 4v5, then it's pretty much even there then. And make plays 4v5. I'm gonna go and shove this lane. I'm gonna try to meet up with my team a little bit later. Let's speed this up. I believe Anivia fed here. Yeah, Anivia got caught and then she died, or he died. Is it a he or she? I think it's a he. So they're gonna siege here. They have Baron, everything like that. They're gonna siege, and I'm gonna go ahead and use my ults, just delay it as much as possible, make them take as much damage as possible. I play pretty cautiously here because if I get caught, it could be pretty GG. 30 minutes. They have their full team. We don't even have our entire team. They could get the inhibitor, and maybe even Nexus start. So it's important that you don't die, especially if you're. In this case, I'm the only one with any wave clear, so I don't want that to happen. Let's see. Renekton goes a little too deep. There's no reason. He's picking a fight when it's already a 4v5, and they have a Baron, and we already lost the tower, so it's not worth diving in like that. Renekton kind of already has a couple misplays this game, so I'm sorry if the Renekton's watching this, but in my opinion, they already got their objective. Just don't give them another kill again. Alright, so this is kind of where we're just trying to pick up the pieces. It's really important that Anivia gets blue as well. It allows Anivia to just spam ult, and I'm trying to make sure that they get that. In this situation, I'm trying to think if Dragon will be up soon. Okay, so we are assisting it. We're calling for assist, so Dragon is up pretty shortly, and Anivia makes a little distraction, I guess, to kind of keep them away. But we've been killing dragons pretty on point, and they have no idea when the timers are, so we've been doing pretty well on that. Kill it pretty easily. Go ahead and just shove the lane. And then I think this is where we're going to regroup again. So let's see what we got going on here. I remember, like Wild Turtle said, ADCs are pretty worthless without red. And it's it can be true. It's not really the damage portion that makes red so important. It's the slow effect, the burn effect that it gives. That it allows you to kite properly or chase, and that's the most important thing about red that you need. The damage isn't definitely a nice perk to it, but If you're ever looking to duel, red is great for if you know that you can possibly kill someone, because it'll do the extra damage, plus it'll make them slower so they can't dodge your abilities and things like that as easily. Alright, so let me see. 1800 gold. I go ahead and get a Negatron cloak and a home guard, just catch up. I think I have a little bit of gold extra, yeah. I'm gonna save that extra gold for, I think I'll save enough for a Infinity Edge for later. So I'm just gonna pick up a Negatron cloak. If anything, if this game goes pretty far, against this team, they got a LeBlanc Malphite at least. I'm gonna go for a Banshee's Veil if it goes down to that point. But generally, I'm not dying very often, so I'm actually just kind of saving my money to stay offensive and do as much damage. So let's see, in this situation, wow, at least gets chunked pretty hard. Pretty hard there. And Malphite, I thought I could get away from that. I thought I did, so I should have used my dash or my flash, but it's okay. Pretty easy fight. We are pretty good in team fighting. Looks like Jinx finally got caught, and that's how we're gonna clean up. For you, just stay in the back as much as possible, do as much damage to anyone that you can, and just clean up as much as you can. You just want to pull out as much damage as possible. It's not important that you're in the front line and always attacking AP carry, AD carry. If you can get a couple shots off onto their AD carry or AP carry, then go for it. But then if you need to back out, just get out immediately. So it should be quick in, quick out, whatever you can. And if you can get a kill, then go for it. For me personally, it's never really worth it going 1-for-1. Let's say if you get the ADC for yourself, it's always better that you stay alive. Because a lot of times you might try to go for that, and then you might actually not get it. So make sure in team fights you focus on just doing as much damage as possible. And then with Lucian, always use your ability like Q, do your autos, W, do your autos, dash, do your autos, you know, then ult or anything like that if you need to chase or run away. And just make sure you wave in as much of your abilities with your auto shots, and that's the way you can pull out as much damage as Lucian is capable of doing. So hope you guys enjoyed that. Hope you guys have learned a couple things, and if you guys have any questions, make sure to let me know. And also, I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace out, guys.